So today we're wrapping up the Scream movie review series with Scream 6. Let's go. Greetings everyone, my name is Nightshade, this is The Night Shift, a home for all things spooky, and today we are going to be re-reviewing Scream 6. I have reviewed Scream 6 on the channel before, however, that was directly after watching it. I'm pretty sure I watched the movie and then came here and directly started doing my review, but now that it's been a year and I've watched it several times since then, I've got a few things that I want to change about that review. So Scream 6 does a lot of things right, and I mean it does a lot of things right. That being said, it does a lot of things wrong as well. So let's go ahead and get into the review. Now, I don't do my movie reviews like most other channels do, where they break it down scene for scene. Instead, what I do is I break this down into two camps with what I liked and what I didn't like. But we always start off on a positive note first with what I liked, which is the opening. Now, I really do love the opening in Scream 6. This is one of the best openings in the entire franchise. This is probably my second or third favorite opening in the franchise. I like the way that Scream 4 opened was garbage. The Scream 5 opening was meh, and the voice changer thing with Cotton in Scream 3 was also just kinda eh. I like that they set it up like we know how it's gonna go. And whenever Ghostface slashes down on Samara Weaving's character and it just keeps rolling, subverted expectations, and I really like that. Instead, what we got was a Ghostface on Ghostface crime, essentially. So as far as like some of these movie openings go, it got kind of stale over time. Honestly, I think Scream 2 was like the last good intro, and then we get Scream 6, which really kind of breathed new life into the openings of the film. Hands down, one of the best intros in the entire franchise. Up next on my positives list is the story. I do like the story in this. It definitely feels like a continuation of Scream 5. However, I've seen a lot of people complain that Sydney is not in this one and therefore it takes away from the story, which I personally don't believe to be true. She's been in all 5 of the other ones. It's okay. Like we can do a movie without Sydney Prescott. It'll be fine. But instead of following Sydney Prescott, we get all the survivors from the last film, and they have all moved to New York. All of them are going to the same college and getting a higher education. Except for Sam, she is just there to protect her sister, which rightfully so.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I'm just gonna tase you in the balls real quick. Don't ever lay hands on my sister.
But they're all trying to move on with their lives, and yet another Ghostface comes to make sure that they don't do that. Up next on my list is the characters. I do actually enjoy the characters in this one more so than I did in Scream 5. Nobody in here really bothers me except for like Sam's therapist. He's the only one that I find to be absolutely egregious. But other than him, everybody else is pretty likable in this film. I have a good time with all the characters. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Scream has some of the best characters in any horror movie franchise, and I will say that until the day that I die. Unless everybody in Scream 7 absolutely sucks, which, you know, could be the case, you never know. I also feel like the survivors from Scream 5 here in 6 feel a lot more developed than they did in Scream 5. They just seem to have a lot more of their own personalities in this one, and I always appreciate seeing character growth. So up next, we have the action. Now, this might be the most action-packed entry in the entire Scream franchise. Like, when this movie pops off, it pops off. You know how there was barely any chase scenes in Scream 5? Well, guess what? We're gonna have all of the chase scenes all of the time in Scream 6. You just have a plethora of action in this film, and I really enjoy a lot of the scenes in this, like the bodega scene. Oh my god. Hands down my favorite scene in the movie. The bodega scene is hands down my favorite scene in this film because, you know, you get a lot of action in that, and then you also get a very tense moment whenever Ghostface is stalking the sisters, and, you know, it's all a very tense scene, and I really like the way that they crafted that. And then you get the apartment attack scene, which is also very fantastic. It's very adrenaline inducing. And then you get even more tension with the whole ladder stunt that happens. And then you get the whole scene with Gail being attacked by Ghostface, and That was awesome. It's not really awesome that she survived, but it's awesome nonetheless. And then you get a really tense subway scene, which is also absolutely phenomenal. Love the way they crafted that. I wish they would have showed less of that in the trailer, because I would have loved to have seen that for the very first time, not knowing what was going to happen, and the trailer kind of ruined it, which is unfortunate. And then you get all of the action sequences that happen in the shrine. Like, this thing is just jam-packed with action, and I absolutely love it. So up next we have, of course, Ghostface. Now, this Ghostface is absolutely fucking mean. This is this is probably the most brutal Ghostface we've ever seen. So this Ghostface is a tactician. This Ghostface is a lot more efficient in the way that he kills. Not to mention, the mask is absolutely amazing. Now, there is 3 mask types in this movie. However, we don't see the other 2 until the very 3rd act. All 3 of the aged masks are top-notch. They are some of my favorite masks in the franchise. And we've got the Nancy Loomis mask, which I will be showing you guys how to make on Friday. And this is the first time we see Ghostface get a kill with a gun. And I'm talking like Ghostface done up as Ghostface, not out of costume. I'm talking about Ghostface in the entire Ghostface getup. Now, I'm not a big gun guy, but that was fucking cool. Also, Roger Jackson, again, gives us another iconic performance as the voice of Ghostface. However, it doesn't seem like he was utilized to his fullest potential in this movie. He still sounded cool nonetheless. And I really enjoyed the robe in this one as well. Still with the less sparkles, more black approach that they did in Scream 5. And your boy loves all black. Up next, we have my final positive, which is the shrine. Jesus Christ, the shrine is so fucking cool. I am a collector of things. I do have my own collection, but none as cool as the shrine. In the shrine, we get to see so many references and so many Easter eggs to the entire Scream franchise. That thing is a collector's wet dream. And there is so many Easter eggs in there that I could not even, I definitely don't have the time to break down any Easter eggs here right now, but there are other channels that have broken down every single Easter egg, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably already seen those, but yeah, you can go check one of those out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's just so cool to see all of the references to the past films, and even some of the stuff from the present films, all kind of compiled into one warehouse, which is absolutely awesome. Now, the positives in this movie are through the roof with positivity. And for my negatives, we've only got one. However, it is a big one, and that is the entire 3rd act. So when I watched this movie for the first time, I thought it was an absolutely amazing movie. And then I watched it a second time, and then I watched it a third time. So, but watching it a second time and a third time, there are things in the 3rd act that really just get under my skin. So rather than breaking out the little things, I'm just going to compile it all into one thing, and that is the entire 3rd act of this movie. I've got so many issues with the 3rd act that it almost kind of ruins this movie for me. So let's break down the 3rd act and why it pisses me off so much. We get the return of Ghost Billy, which is my least favorite part of Scream 5.
Hot damn, how fucking cool is this place?
Fuck no.
Fuck yes. Come on, Sam, you gotta be excited to get our murder on again.
The second he popped back up, and I was like, oh, that's not good. And then, Ghost Billy gives Sam solid advice because, the voices in your head aren't only real, they're accurate as well, for whatever reason. And then we get the killers revealed, and everybody becomes a fucking cartoon character yet again.
They did it! Now she's finally starting to get it! Get her! I've always wanted to stick something in you, Tara!
Because everybody wants to be Stu Macher, and nobody can out-Macher the Stu. What the fuck? Detective Bailey also, wasn't the best actor in the film, but then he turns into a straight up, mad scientist type of villain and does his little laugh.
Is it, Dad?
And then Ethan starts going over the top with the thing, and he just becomes an annoying, insufferable cock, and absolutely despise him after that. Like, he was cool at the beginning of the film, and then whenever he's revealed at the end of the film to be a Ghostface killer, he is just the most annoying little bitch that I could possibly think of. Then we get Quinn revealed as a third Ghostface who we thought was dead, a fake out death.
Hey, roomies. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Which I didn't like it when they did that with Roman Bridger. I definitely do not like that in this movie. And they use some shitty cover up like it's easy to swap a dead body. Like, no the fuck it's not. Have you tried to carry a dead body? Like, that is not an easy feat. Not that I would know. And even if you did, the forensic scientists would know that that is not Quinn at all. Fucking infuriating. And while we're on the subject of fake out deaths, everybody in this survives. We get Mindy, who was stabbed in the belly button. She should have been disemboweled. It's a buck knife. This is a buck 120 that we're talking about here. Used for cutting open and hollowing out deer. And her gut stab was not an insignificant one. At the end of the movie, she just comes running back into frame as if she didn't just get almost disemboweled. And then we got Chad, who should have been the coolest death in the film because he was turned into a fucking shish kebab. Should have been the coolest death in the film and a very impactful death as well, but we didn't get that, and yeah, it kind of upsets me. And it's also revealed that Gail survived her attack as well, and that's kind of disappointing. Nobody of any significance dies in this film, and everybody just takes mortally ending wounds in stride, and that really bugs me about this film. And then we've got this scene. If you're the main antagonist of the film, the person you are wanting to kill is running at you. You have a gun. Why not use the gun? He doesn't use the gun. He's just pointing it at her and then runs at her like he's gonna fucking stab her with it or some shit. That is the dumbest fucking scene in the entire franchise. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I believe that with my whole chest. Like, who the fuck okayed that scene? Seriously, who okayed that scene? Who saw that and was all like, that's where it's at right there. I love that. Oh my God, yes. Like, somebody was smoking something. As good as the first 2/3 of this movie was. Like, this was definitely on track to becoming my favorite sequel of the entire franchise, and then that third act just took a shit on any hope of that happening. So like I said, even though it is one negative, it is actually a shitload of negatives in one little thing. So yeah, take that as you will. So my final score for this film is going to definitely be a 6 out of 10. And I still believe that there isn't a bad Scream film, but this one is definitely far from the best. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and that's just gonna about do it for me. If you liked the video, let me know by leaving me a like. Comment down below what you want to see on the channel next. I will do my best to accommodate, and until next time, my name is Nightshade. This has been The Night Shift, and I will see you in the next video. Stay spooky, my friends. I can see the sun peeking through the window. It is 6:30 in the morning. I have been at it all night. If you're still watching at this point, we are doing the Nancy Loomis Ghostface mask, and I think I knocked this one out of the park, in my personal opinion. It could be a bias, though. Catch you guys later. Stay spooky.